So back to what I was saying about the cult of personalities. It's never a healthy thing. And I know that cult of personalities existed with other politicians and both political parties at some point. But the cult with Trump is so much worse. It's so much stronger. It's a really dangerous cult because they're going down a rabbit hole that's destroying our democracy. They're buying into a worldview that's not fact at all. All right. This is rotting the whole GOP within not only our government, but the Republican Party as a whole. Okay. And they have to get a grip on it. And I want them to get a grip on it because I understand we still have two political parties, and I want them both to be healthy political parties. Because as much as I would love to sit here and wish, oh, the GOP is going to get destroyed, I'm so happy. I am right now because I think they need to be. Considering the kind of politics that they're partaking in right now. And the fact that they're not doing anything to make this country better. I think that there needs to be a restructuring of priorities. At the end of the day, though, they still are going to be a political party that exists. So, yes, they're going to get wiped out this election cycle. It's pretty inevitable. But I don't want the Democrats to sell home and think, well, we won all these seats and we won a mandate, so we don't really have to do a whole lot right now other than clean up the mess that's been created. No. If you guys go back to the way you've done things in the past, I can tell you the next election cycle, or next couple election cycles, the GOP will be coming back in office with a new platform and a new vision for the country to win over voters. Whether they're genuine about it or not, that's a whole other story. But they will cosplay their way back into power. Because the one thing the GOP is good at doing is rebranding. All right. Democratic Party, not so much. All right. But even if that's the case, that happens in the future, I hope to God it's not the same Republican Party we have right now. I hope they completely change. Because I never want to sit here in this country and hold on to fear. Every single election have anxiety in my gut going, okay, if the Republicans win, our democracy's done. That is never a fear I want to wake up with. And that is why this cult needs to die. Because our country and our values matter more than a person and a cult. And that's the thing. And we do need two healthy political parties. All right? Because those are the two parties we have in this country. So instead of talking about a mythical third party, which I would love to see happen, or a parliamentary system, which, by the way, I support ranked choice voting. I support open primaries. I think every candidate should be on the debate stage that runs for president and should have a platform. In an ideal world, we would have that, and I support that. I support every candidate having the right to run for office, regardless of political party. Just like I think it's great more people run in primaries. I think it's great. I think it makes parties healthier. And I think that's what gave the GOP so much strength for as long as they give them. They had more people running in primaries. They didn't tip the scale. Okay, they let the voters choose. Democratic parties finally starting to wake up and do the same thing. I think it's great there's competitive primaries. You know? But the cult of personality stuff's got to go. And it mildly happened on the Democratic side, too. They had what they call the bag of blue checks. And some of those do exist. Some of them just like the writer troll farms and bots, though. They're not real people. And there are people that are there for real, though. But as you see what happens to cults, though, they fall like quicksand on all sides of the aisle. Because it has an expiration window. Because to build your platform on one person and treat them like royalty and God, that they can never make a mistake, and they're the most perfect angelic human being, and they're always going to have good intentions for our country, is hogwash. It's not real. They're humans. They're people. They're flawed. We are all flawed. We're people. Okay? And I always said political parties, healthy political parties, have to have a healthy, broad platform that appeals to the broad of the electorate. Okay? And a sustainable movement is going to make people's lives structurally better. Minus one person's figurehead. Because putting a person on a party as a leader and owing allegiance to that leader is just going to collapse the whole movement. Because that person ain't going to be there forever. And not everybody's going to operate the same. The next person that runs is not going to run just like them. Okay? Every individual is different. So, again, the GOP is going to be kind of dead in the water right now because not only are they going to lose and Trump's going to drag them down, but J.D. Vance is going to be the next leader in place to pick up the pieces. I mean, good luck on that. J.D. Vance doesn't have the appeal Trump has. So I can already tell you that right now. All right, I've been watching politics a long time. I can tell you that right now. Trump had something a lot of these people didn't have. You know, like him, hate him, doesn't matter. He had a gift. He was a gifted salesman. He was a gifted speaker. He was a charismatic guy. He knew how to sell a bill of goods. These other people, and you have to remember, he did not run as a traditional Republican either. People forget that. Yeah, he said a lot of crazy things, but he talked a lot about bringing jobs back. People keep forgetting this part. He talked about bringing back American manufacturing. He talked about the nostalgia that a lot of people in this country want to see happen again. The next Republican Party is not going to do that. The next leader of the Republican Party is not going to do that. They're complete corporatists. J.D. Vance is a tech bro. Okay? All the other Republicans are basically in the tech industry. So, yeah, I don't think the broad swath of middle class is going to jump out of bed for that and vote for that. So, yeah. But, again, cult of personalities die. These movements don't go nowhere. The movements that are sustainable are the ones that build behind a platform, not a person. Now, you can have a person as a figurehead for a movement for a short time, but not as the soul of the movement. Because again, people come and go and people are flawed. And as a progressive myself, I choose not to follow the cult of personality platform. I will aspire to what people say and agree with them. I will maybe vote for certain individuals, but I'm not going to praise the allegiance to them. I'm not going to build a social media platform with their face. I'm not going to be marching in the streets on behalf of them. I'm not doing none of that because I don't believe in cults. I believe in principles. And we all need to get back to a point in this country where we do the same. All right. And that's all I want to talk about in this video. But anyways, y'all have a great day. Have a great night. See you later. Goodbye.